Charlene Award, and welcome to Cover Your Assets, the financial literacy show that uses kingdom concepts to teach financial precepts. We will cover our assets in knowledge, understanding, and divine revelation. This is lit financial literacy. Enjoy the show. Hello, welcome to the show. It's been a minute, but I'm so glad to be back with you. Welcome to the show. Remember, this is Cover Your Assets, the KJV version, where we learn how to cover our assets in prayer, wisdom, and understanding. Yes, we need all of those: prayer, wisdom, and understanding. So today and this week, we are talking about scared money don't make money. I don't know if you heard that saying before, but I heard that a lot growing up. Scared money don't make money. And the essential idea behind it is, if you are too afraid to take a step, then you can't gain anything. It also coincides with another saying that we've often heard: no risk, no reward. And so you're saying, what does this have to do with financial precepts and and the Bible, and kingdom concepts? What does this have to do with kingdom concepts and financial precepts? Well, let me explain to you. In order to grow, we have to take some type of risk. And if we're not able to take those risks, then we stay still. And a lot of times we get stuck. And so we're not moving. We're not going forward. And we're not gaining any ground. Okay? We're not gaining any ground. And that's not just financially. That's in life, period. If you're scared to take a step to move out of your comfort zone, right? Then a lot of times you'll just stay in your comfort zone, and there's not a lot of reward in your comfort zone. You're comfortable, but you don't gain anything new. You don't learn anything new. Your finances don't reach anything new. And so we're learning about scared money don't make money. Scared money don't make money. No risk, no reward. This oftentimes comes from one of two things. Of course, the root is fear, but it often comes from one of two things. There are two, I call them the scared sisters. I call them the scared sisters because they are rooted in fear. They come from fear of the unknown. Fear of the unknown. So there's the scarcity mindset and there's the poverty mindset. And so, they are sisters. I won't say they're twins, but baby, I'm telling you, they are close. They close sisters, okay? So the scarcity mindset is when you have the idea that resources, opportunities, finances, all these things are limited. That there are not enough of these things in the world. They're limited. You've got to... they only come to certain people. None of this is necessarily, obtainable for you. There's a scarcity mindset. There's very limited resources. There's limited opportunities. There's limited finances, and none of this may be available for you. So you develop this idea that, this is an idea, a mindset, a worldview, that there's not enough resources. There's not enough resources. And if you believe that way, then you live in fear that there are not going to be enough resources for you. You start to think or constantly have the mindset that I don't know where my next resource is coming from. I don't know where my next opportunity is coming from. And you can get consumed by that. And that is fear. And that causes anxiety. And that causes stress, right? So that's the scarcity mindset. Then her sister, who take it to a whole nother level, okay? Her sister is the poverty mindset. Poverty mindset take it to a different level. Poverty mindset is the focus on what one does not have and what one cannot do. All right? What one does not have is the belief that money shouldn't be spent. Opportunities are limited, and any risk at all is dangerous. Any risk at all is dangerous. So any success is in terms of, any success is temporary. Any success is temporary. Any success is temporary and non-replicable. And it's best to just hang back in the back of the pack. Let everybody else plow the land. Let everybody else trailblaze. I'm going to hang back here and catch whatever I can catch. You know, any risk is dangerous. You know, we're focusing on what we don't have versus what we do have. All risk is dangerous. Money should not be spent. All right, that is the poverty mindset. Money shouldn't be spent. All risk is dangerous. I'm going to focus on the things I don't have. I don't have this. I don't have that. I don't have this. I don't have that. Not the things I do have. You know, I am breathing. I am living. I am moving. I got my right mind. We're not focusing on the things we have. We're focusing on the things we don't have. I don't have the car I want. I don't have the house I want. I don't have the spouse I want. Sorry. Anyway, so that is a poverty mindset. Focusing on what you don't have. And can you see how those two are related? You know, they're sisters. I'm focusing on what I don't have. I don't think money, all risk is dangerous. I All risk is dangerous. I'm focusing on what I don't have. Money shouldn't be spent. I'm going to hang back in the back of the crowd, back of the pack. You know, success is unusual and it doesn't happen often. That's your poverty mindset. And then scarcity mindset is resources are limited. You know, I don't know where I'm gonna get my next resource. I don't know when I'm gonna get my next opportunity because those are limited. I don't know when I'm gonna get my next financial bonus because those are limited. So I'm just gonna sit here in fear and anxiety and stress because I don't know when I'm gonna get my next or if I'm gonna get my next or are there next because resources are scarce. Everything is scarce, and I might not get those opportunities, resources, or finances. Okay, so these two are sisters. Both of them come from fear. Okay, we see where scarcity comes from fear because it's unknown. You don't see the plan. You don't see the steps. You know, you don't see the plan. You don't see the steps. You don't see how this is going to work out in your favor. Poverty mindset is rooted in fear because it's like, oh, I'm not going to take these risks. I can't take no risks because that's dangerous. I'm scared to take risks. If I take a risk, I might lose. If I take a risk, I might fail. If I take a risk, I might fill in the blank. But we all know whether we act on this or not, the statement is absolutely true. If you do not risk anything, you do not win anything. You know, I'm not telling y'all to go out there, gamble, go to the casino, hit the lotto. I'm not telling you to do that. But I am telling you that you've got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Because as long as you're comfortable, you cannot move to the next level. And that means in your career, in your relationships, and most importantly for this particular show, in finances. You can't. You've got to do something you've never done to get the results that you've never had. I don't know if you heard that before, but that's another statement that has been said over and over again. You've got to do something you've never done to get the results that you've never had. You got to move out. You got to get unstuck from fear so that you can move forward in the things of God, the things that he has for you, the relationships that he has for you, the, careers that he has for you, the blessings that he has for you. If you sitting right here, you know, I'm getting ahead of myself, but like, if you, if I give you this and you don't do anything with it, why should I give you more? I just want to know. Let's get to the scripture. So today, like I said, scared money don't make money, right? So I have two scriptures that I want to talk about, but one of them I really need to hold off on. So it's just going to lightly touch on it. But the first scripture, we're going to dive deep into it because it just shows you the valor, the the reward of being courageous. It shows you the reward of being courageous. It shows you the gain, the immense gain of stepping outside of your comfort zone. All right. So our scripture is 2 Kings chapter 7. Um let's start at verse 5. I'm going to give you some back information so you'll know what's going on. If you follow me on IG, I've already talked about it a little bit, but I'm going to give you a brief synopsis of what's going on at this point. So, Elisha the prophet has prophesied. He's doing some day trading, okay? He has prophesied that a handful of meal will sell for 1 shekel tomorrow, and 2 handfuls of grain will sell for 1 shekel tomorrow. Why is this important? This is important because there is a famine in the land. There's a famine, there's no food, everybody's hungry, they sad, they feeling bad. Now they really got the scarcity mindset because they're living in scarcity. Okay, there's a real famine. And out of nowhere, the prophet Elijah has prophesied that some grain, we're gonna spend a 1 shekel on grain tomorrow. And some meal. Okay, we don't even have no grain or meal while you prophesying how much it's gonna cost. So he doing some day trading. He looked at the charts, No, I'm kidding. He just heard from God, and so he didn't have to look at the charts. He didn't have to do, predict what we were gonna touch. He just went on and told us how much it was gonna cost tomorrow. Okay, so, he tells that to one of the king's attendants, and the king attendant don't believe him. But so we skip down on here to, so there's like 4 lepers. There's 4 lepers outside the gates of the kingdom. And so if you know anything about biblical times and leprosy was a disease, and it was contagious, and it would kill you. So these people are outside the kingdom because they can't come inside because, hey, they got leprosy, it's contagious. So it's 4 men, they're outside the kingdom. They hungry. You understand what I'm saying? They are hungry. And, when you got a scarcity mindset, you can't think of nothing else. If you hungry, you hungry. Ain't nothing else on your mind but that hunger, right? I'm hungry. So they get to this point where they say, "Ooh, we hungry. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? We can't go inside the city. They'll kill us because we ain't supposed to be in there. And even if we go in the city, they ain't got no food. Ain't no food in there. But there's an army that's not far from the city that's trying to take over the kingdom anyway. What if we go surrender ourselves to them and see if they'll feed us? What do we have to lose? What do they have to lose? They don't have anything to lose, right? Because they're gonna die, they hungry. So they decide, hey, I'm gonna read from the Message Bible because the Message Bible gets down. All right. So let's hear. This is 2 Kings chapter 7, verses 5. Let's see, we'll stop at verse 8 and pick up from there. So after the sun went down, they got up and went to the camp of Aram. When they got to the edge of the camp, surprise! No, not a man in the camp. God had made the army of Aram hear the sound of horses and a mighty army on the march. They told one another, the king of Israel has hired kings of the Hittites, which is another neighboring army, and kings of Egypt to attack us. And they panicked. They ran for their lives through the darkness, abandoning their tents, their horses, their donkeys. The whole camp, just as it was, running for their dear lives. These 4 lepers entered the camp and went into a tent. First, they ate. What did they do? What did they do? First, they ate. Why? Why they ate? Because they hungry. Because they hungry. That's the first thing they did when they rolled up on that camp and when nobody there, and they was sure wasn't nobody there because they had to verify it. They verified wasn't nobody there. They got horses, donkeys, all this stuff still out here, and ain't no men, ain't no army. When they verified wasn't nobody there, what we gonna do? We finna eat. We hungry. All right, so they go eat. First, they ate and drank. Okay, first they ate and drank. Then they grabbed silver and gold and clothing and went off and hid it. What they gonna do with that? Right? They grabbed silver and gold and cloth and ran off and hid it. All right, I'm gonna tell you the rest of the story because I know you want to know because it's good stuff. All right, but so they hide their gold and they go back and they enjoy some more and then they feel convicted in their spirits, they feel convicted. And so they was like, oh, we better go tell the king that we found some food and, the army gone so the whole kingdom can eat. And they do, and the king come and, Elijah's prophecy comes to fulfillment because they get all this food and drink and rations and things from what the army would have had and bring it into the kingdom. But what I want you to get from this is this. They got to a place where they were so desperate for something to change. They got to a place where they were so desperate and so uncomfortable, okay? They got so uncomfortable that they had to move. They had to move. They had to do something. Sitting there, hungry, desperate, destitute, dying, pushed them out of scared. They weren't scared. If they went to the camp and the people killed them, then they killed them. They was ready. Hey, if you don't feed me, I'm going to die anyway. So I'm going to go to this camp and see what's up. Because if I don't eat, I'm in the same situation. So they put their fear aside. They put their fear aside because they needed those resources. They needed those resources. They needed the food. They needed the opportunity. And so they had to move out of fear and move into it's going to be worth it. They had to move out of fear and move into abundance. Because as long as we're sitting in fear, as long as we chilling with the 2 sisters, hey, they chilling. We chilling. We got poverty and we got scarcity. As long as you're chilling with them, you can't have abundance. You can't. Because they are poverty and scarcity. Abundance don't go with that. They don't hang out together. Abundance over there. Abundance means you got to step out of that fear. Abundance means you've got to overcome. Abundance is going to, hey, to get to abundance, it don't necessarily feel good. You got to do something you've never done. You've got to take that risk. You got to move past what's comfortable. You got to get uncomfortable. And you got to keep on going even though you're uncomfortable. Because see, when you get hungry, and you see this in life all the time, when somebody get to the rock bottom, they do things. What's something my aunt used to say? She was like, I'm finna do something, even if it's the wrong thing. See, we don't want to get to that point, okay? Hey, Joy, we don't want to get to that point. I'm gonna do something, you know. So let's be proactive instead of reactive. Let's deal with the root of our fear and let's move forward. Why are you afraid of this? Why are you afraid to tithe? So you feel like you're gonna lose something? You feel like because you gave to God that you won't be provided for? So what does that say about your God? Because I give to you, I'm lose? No, that's not how that works. Giving it shall be given. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Shall men give to your bosom? Okay? So why won't you save? Why won't you save? You still got it. It's just not for spending. Why won't you invest? Because it's scary? Because there's a risk? Yeah, there's a risk. But if you don't risk anything, you don't get the reward. One thing about the fear of fear of risk is you can mitigate your risk. There's always risk with investing, of course. But the more educated you are about investing and the investment that you can choose investments that have very little risk to get started. You can choose investments that have higher risk and you're going to have a better return. But to get started, let's educate ourselves. Let's understand why we're investing, why this works, how this works. And that will give you confidence. And again, what are we here for? Understanding. What are we here for? Wisdom. Okay? So that'll give you understanding and wisdom concerning what you're trying to do or what you need to do. Okay? So we got to move out of fear. We got to get past fear. We got to go forward. We got to get unstuck. Okay? So how do we do that? Like I said, we've got to educate ourselves. Financial literacy. You're here, you're listening, you're watching, so you're beginning. But this has to be dealt with in order to move forward, right? Because I can teach you all the pieces. What's assets, what's liabilities, what's investment. Because the other scripture I got that does still deal with the fear is a lot about investment. I'm gonna touch on it because it's definitely relevant to what we're talking about. But I don't want to get too in detail about it because when we do the episode on investment, it's so good for that. Anyway, let's talk about how to overcome a poverty mindset. All right, how to overcome a poverty mindset. I don't know these off the top of my head, so I'm gonna read them to you. So here is like 10 things. First thing you should do is be grateful. You heard me. Be grateful. Be grateful for your mind. Be grateful for your body being able to move. Be grateful for you being able to breathe. Be grateful for your ability to hear. Be grateful. Second, have some ambition. Get up, get out, and do something. What the song say? Have some ambition. Work, want to do something. Want to work towards something. Want to build something, create something, do something. Give, participate. Have some ambition. This is a good one, and I'm gonna try not to clap because that don't sound good on the podcast. Okay, be happy for other people's success and wealth. Because I like to clap when I get excited. but I'm not gonna do it. Y'all want me to do it? Okay, no, I ain't gonna do it. Be happy for other people's success and wealth. You ain't got to be no hater. You just ain't got to. Because it's not helping you. Haters gonna hate. But haters are still gonna have the poverty mindset. Amen? Amen. All right, I amen myself. Anyway, be happy for other people's success and wealth. All right, we're overcoming the poverty mindset. Are we okay? Here we go. Number 3, take some risk. Oh, I know. I just shook the table. I know. I just shook the table. But yes, in order to overcome the poverty mindset, and I'll read a couple of the scarcity mindset as well, how to overcome, but they're pretty similar. You got to take some risks. Here we go. This is the one this is why you're here. Number 4, expand your mind and views about money. Expand your mind and views about money. That's why we're here. We're learning about money. We're learning about financial literacy. We're learning about what's our relationship with money like. You know, we're learning. We're expanding our mind about money. We're expanding our views about money. Money is a tool. It serves us. It serves our assignment. We don't serve money. Money serves us. We don't worship money. We use money as a tool to advance the kingdom and to make our lives better and others people's lives better. Money is a tool. So we're learning about money. We're changing our views about money. We're changing our mind. We're expanding our mind about money. What money can and cannot do. Okay? That's why you're here. All right, here's a good one. Hang out with rich and successful people. Come on. Hang out with some rich and successful people. Them people you hating on, okay? Come on, hang out. Just pull up. Tell your friends to pull up. All right? The rich and successful people, y'all hate. Look, y'all pull up. You pull up on me. Because I'm ready to hang out with some rich, successful people. You know, hey, you could glean from these people. You don't know what knowledge of nuggets, what nuggets of gold they dropping on the floor just because you're in the room. You know? Take responsibility for your current financial station. Stop blaming everybody else. Stop blaming everybody else. You're right. Some of these things were not your fault. You're right. Some of these things were out of your control. You're right. Some of these things came from a lineage of poverty. A lineage of poverty. Some of these things did come from it. But take responsibility for where you are right now and you be the change. You be the change. You be the overcomer. You be the bloodline breaker. And the last one, delay immediate gratification. Soon as you get your money, you don't have to go buy that new Louis. You don't have to. As soon as you get your money, you don't have to run out and spend it. That's immediate gratification. Spending excessively is another form of poverty. That's excessive spending. I'm not saying don't spend something. You need to reward yourself. That's reasonable. But excessive spending is another form of poverty. Immediate gratification is a sign of poverty. If you got to go spend your money as soon as you get it, those are red flags. I wish I had a red flag. I'm going to get one for next time. That's a red flag. Delay immediate gratification. All right. Wait on it. Sit on that thing. Just wait. Wait. You don't have to have it right this second. All right. So those are ways to overcome a poverty mindset. All right. I'm going to go through overcoming a scarcity mindset kind of quick because there are a lot of similarities. The first one is focus on what you have. That's pretty similar to be grateful. Okay. Um, become more generous. That's a good one. Surround yourself with people who have abundance mindset. All right. We'll talk about abundance mindset later. Create win-win situations for yourself. What's a win-win situation? I can. What's a win-win situation for yourself? Create a win-win situation for yourself. Um, I can volunteer and help these kids because they need coaches, or I can volunteer and help the Boy Scouts sell popcorn. You can't lose. You're still volunteering, you're still giving back, you're still helping. It's a win-win, however you do it, whatever choice you make. Incorporate gratitude in your lifestyle. Once again, be grateful. And train your mind to recognize progress. So train your mind to recognize possibilities. So look for opportunities, look for possibilities, look for, instead of, this is, remember, we're overcoming the scarcity mindset here. So instead of looking at the limitedness of things, let's look at the possibilities of things. If I do this, if I tweak this, if somebody did this, then we could do that. All right, look for possibilities. Be more optimistic. Okay, if there's a will, there's a way. So let's start looking for possibilities, looking for ways to improve things, improve yourself, improve life, improve the people around you, make their lives better. That's another way of giving back. That's another way of having more gratitude in your lifestyle. Okay, so anyway, that's how you can overcome the scarcity mindset, overcome the poverty mindset. Wanted to go back to that just so you could have some practical things to apply to deal with those mindsets. And like I said, the root of that thing is fear. So to deal with the fear, you got to address the fear, admit that it exists, and then educate yourself about the issue. And you're here, so you're doing that. Now let's talk about the other scripture that I wanted to get to. All right, remember, scared money don't make money. So this is pretty good. So this is Matthew 25. Matthew 25, 14 through 28. I'm not going to read all of that. I'm going to give you a brief intro to the parable of the bags of gold, okay? When you like a bag of gold right now, or two, okay? So anyway, this is about the parable of the bag of gold. What's happening is there's a master. He's got 3 servants. The master is about to go off on a trip. He's going to do some harvesting. He'll be gone for a long, long while. What he is going to do is, one servant, he will give 5 bags of gold. They call them talents. 5 bags of gold. Lots of money. It might have been, it's lots of money today. Lots of money today. I did the calculations, but I don't remember what they are. But they got a bag, okay? It's a bag. So lots of calculation. Lots of money. Millions, okay? If you convert it to dollars today, it's millions of dollars. So 5 bags of gold to the first servant. 2 bags of gold to the second servant. And 1 bag of gold to the third servant. So you got your 3 servants, 1 master, 5 bags of gold, 2 bags of gold, 1 bag of gold. So the master leaves. He leaves, he got some business to take care of. He finna go handle some things, okay? He got something to do. And it's important, he gonna be gone for a minute. He gonna be gone for a little minute. So he gotta go. He gotta handle some things. So anyway, so what they gonna do with this money? So the master left them with this money. Now let me tell you what happens. So after a long, I'm gonna read this, the Message Bible, so you know. You know how to message get down. All right. So after a long absence, the master of those servants came back and settled up with them. The one given $5,000, 5 bags of gold. The one given 5 bags of gold had doubled his investment. You heard me? He had doubled his investment. So now he got 10 bags of gold. Okay? He had doubled his investment. His master commended him. Good work. You did your job well. From now on, be my partner. So you get the, he's like, be my partner. All right. I'm going to jump over here to the NIV because I want you to hear what this one says. After a long time, the master of those servants returned and settled accounts with him. The man who had received 5 bags of gold brought the other 5. The master, he said, you entrusted me with 5 bags of gold. See, I have gained 5 more. His master replied, well done, good and faithful servant. Where did we hear that before? When do we want to hear that again, right? I want to hear that again. Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share in your master's happiness. All right, so that's what happens with the first servant. 5 bags of gold. Master said $5,000. Either way, they double. The investment is doubled. So you got 10 bags of gold or $10,000, depending on what interpretation you choose to read. The master's lit. He happy. I can trust you with my money. Not only do I have my money, you done double my money. You ain't been pinching off of it. You ain't, you know what I'm saying? You ain't buy that Louis bag. You don't have your Gucci belt. You done double my money. You know what I'm saying? I can trust you. So what? I see that I can trust you with these few things. Now I'm going to give you many things that I can trust you with. Same thing with God. Hey, I gave you this. I know it's not a lot to you, but it could be a lot to somebody else. It's not a lot to you, but what have you done with what I gave you? Man, that's a hard hit right there. I felt that one in my chest. You know what I'm saying? I felt some conviction in my chest. I hope you know what I'm saying? I hope you're feeling that. What have you done with what I gave you? Can you wait, show me? Okay. So that's what happened with the first servant. Second servant goes like this. Second servant had 2 bags of gold. How many? 2. So the second servant, same thing happens. He doubles his investment. He took those 2 bags and he flipped it. You know what I mean? So he had those 2 bags and he flipped it. He doubled it. His investment has doubled. So he comes to the master, hey, I got you 4 bags of gold now, or I got you $4,000. I got this. So the master's like, hey, that's what's up. Same thing. Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a few things. I'm going to set you over much. Come and, be happy with me. Come and partner with me. Come in. Let's be excited. Now, this is where the story gets real. It gets really real to what we're learning about scared money, not making money, about fear, risk, and being stuck and unmovable. Okay? So this is where here go the gut punch. Okay? My son is working on boxing, so yeah. Gut punch. Anyway, here's the gut punch. So then we get to the third servant. This is the man who received 1 bag. I'm going to, let's see. I'm going to read the Message version first. The servant given 1,000 said, Master, I know you have high standards and hate careless ways that you demand and hate careless ways that you demand the best and make no allowances for error. What that sound like? Sound like somebody brown nosing, sucking up. I was afraid I might disappoint you. Here you go. He told you off the top. I was afraid. So what we know gonna happen? He said I was afraid. So if he afraid, then scared money don't what? Make money. I was afraid I might disappoint you. So I found a good hiding place and secured your money. He said he secured the bag now. That's what he said. Here it is, safe and sound, down to the last cent. He said, I ain't even take 1 penny. He said, I got it safe. It's safe, sound, down to the last cent. Not 1 penny missing. I secured the bag. The same bag you gave me. But he already told us he was afraid. He already told us that, you a master that don't only accept no errors. So, I didn't want to mess up your money. So I ain't do nothing but hide it. So he told us he was scared. He told us he hid it. So he ain't double nothing. He ain't flip nothing. But he got all your pennies, all your coins that you gave him, he got them. Let's see what the master has to say. The master was furious. That's a terrible way to live. Did y'all hear that? That's a terrible way to live. It's criminal to live cautiously like that. It's terrible to live cautiously like that. If you knew I was after the best, why did you do less than the least? The least you could have done would have been to invest the sum with the bankers, where at least I would have gotten a little interest. What? The least you could have did was put it in an account with the bankers, and they would have paid me some interest because you put it in an account with the bankers. That's the least you could have did. You could have at least gave me some interest money. That's all I'm saying. See, if your folks over here then double 5, then double 2, and you can even just put it in the bank for me? Because of your fear, you couldn't move. You didn't even think clearly. Because the least you could have done was put it in the bank for me. All right, I'm going to read from the NIV version. I'm just going to read what the master said. This is verse 26, Matthew 25, verse 26. This is the master's response to the servant who only brought back the 1 bag of gold. His master replied, "You wicked, lazy servant. So you knew that I harvest where I have not sown and gather where I have not scattered seed. Well then, you should have put my money on deposit with bankers, so that when I return, I would have received it back with interest." Same thing. The least you could have did was put it in the bank so we can get some interest. Same goes for today. The least you could do is put it in a high interest savings account. That's the least you could do. If you got more than 10, throw it in a money market account. It's something. It's gaining something. We'll talk about that later, about, that interest that you're getting on savings and money market account and how that really affects you, considering we got some inflation happening. Lots of inflation, 7.5%. But that was the least you can do. That's the least you can do now, is throw it in an account to gain some interest. But we don't want to do that. Bank gonna take my money. You get to those old people house and they pass, they got thousands of dollars under the mattress. Somebody pass, I want to go. Go help you clean the house. Thousands of dollars under the mattress, not gaining any interest, not being invested anywhere. So that's a really good passage. We'll get into that passage again, probably in a couple weeks, when we talked about investing and why it's important to invest. But for now, I want you to understand the point that the master made with the last servant, you know, the fear of how we react, or your fear about what the outcome would be, was so big, such a giant. That's what I want to say. Such a giant in your life that you didn't move at all. You didn't even do the simplest thing. You didn't even do the most common likely thing. You just remained still. You remained stuck. You hid and you did nothing. Did you give me my money back? Do you still have the same amount of money you had? Yeah, you do. But life is about growth. We always talk about generational wealth. We talk about, you know, we doing things different in the new year. We talk about we collecting the bag. We doing all these things. We have all these sayings that we're going to do. But are we moving? Are we going forward? If you do everything that you do right now, the exact same way that you do, are you going to be happy with where you are in 5 years? Think about it. Are you going to be happy? Are you content? Will that sustain you in 5 years? I'm telling you right now, the money that you have right now won't sustain you in 5 years if the interest rate continue to increase and the inflation continues to increase. It's just not gonna get it. I know you go to the grocery store and you see that what you could buy 3 years ago with $200 is not what you can buy this year with $200. So you got to move. You got to change with the environment that you're in, or you're going to get left behind and trampled over. You can't keep the poverty mindset where you hang in the back. If you hang out in the back, you're gonna get left. That's it. That's all. The world is changing. There's a global reset, and we got to go. We gotta go. It's time to head out. And heading out for us means doing things differently. Heading out for us means saving. Heading out for us means spending wisely. Heading out for us means investing. Heading out for us means tithing or giving. This is where we are. Scare money don't make money. No risk, no reward. I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. I really, really enjoyed this one. This was one of my favorites. I got some big things coming up. I want to just run them by you. Sorry. Just want to run them by you. Carry First Kids. Carry First Kids will launch the first week of April. I will be doing a free class on needs versus wants. I will do 2 classes, one for my 6 to 9-year-olds and one for my 10 to 12-year-olds. And this class will be absolutely totally free. I will have the sign up for you available on April 1st. The sign up will go live. I will post that in the description of this podcast or YouTube or wherever you are listening to this. And that will go live April 1st. The sign up for it will be, I will teach the class Need versus Wants live. So if you want your child to be a part of that, it will also give you an opportunity to see what my classes are like, because there will be more classes you will coming, and so this will give you a free demo, free opportunity to see what my classes are like, to see, you know, how your child engages, and to prove to you that these little ones are not too young to learn about money. They are not. They can learn how to build all kind of stuff in Minecraft and Roblox. You know what I'm saying? They know, like my mom said, you know all the words to that song. You know all the words to that song. They can do all of that. They can hit these dances on TikTok that I haven't been able to master yet. I'm talking about little people. They can learn about financial literacy. Easy. Easy. So that will go live April 1st. The sign up for that, I am only taking 20 students per age group. So as soon as I hit that 20 mark, I'm cutting it off because I don't want the class to be too big. Whenever I do a live class, I like to be very, very interactive with my students. I want them to feel like, you know, this class is for them, about them, and so that they can enjoy it. So I'm going to take 20 students for each age group 6 to 9, 10 to 12, and then I'm gonna cut it off. So that's just, I might, nah, that's all I'm doing. So when that link go live, that's it. We're gonna do those 20 kids. I don't know. I'm feeling like I might should do 2 sets of 2. I'm feeling like I might. I don't know. Let's see. Let me see how many kids will hit the overflow. If it's a lot, then I'll go ahead and do 2 sets of 20. Anyway, so that goes live April 1st. The class will needs versus wants. I have 2 separate ones from 6 to 9 and 10 and 12 because those are 2 different age groups, and the classes need to be taught to them differently. The class will be taught live. It will be taught on April 12th. It will be taught live on April 12th. I will give you an exact time, but I believe it's going to be 8 p.m. Eastern time, which will be 7 Central. And you do the rest of the math accordingly. But it'll be 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, then 6, then 5 West Coast. All right, so that will be for the 6 to 9-year-olds. And then the 10 to 12-year-olds will be 7 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah. And you can do those conversions on your own. Figure out what time it's going to be for your time zone. And that's April 12th. So the class will actually be on April 12th, but the sign up will go live on April 1st for you to get your kids in there. It's going to be lit. It's going to be lit. Okay, it's been lit. Financial literacy, but it's lit, been lit. We're going to have a great time. I think they're going to enjoy it. Check out my IG to know a little bit more about my teaching style and my background in teaching young people. So that is all for now. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Scare money don't make money. No risk, no reward. We got to move forward, and we need to educate ourselves to overcome these fears. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll see you next week.